This is Real Retirees Uncut. No filters, no scripts, just conversations about what retirement is really like. Give me your name, age, and where you're from.
I'm George Pack. I'm at 63, and I'm originally from Sumter, South Carolina.
Okay, when did you retire and from what career field?
I retired, let's see, this is 25, so I retired in 23, January of 23. And I retired, my last retirement, I'm a two-time retiree. My last retirement was from civil service, working for the Department of the Army.
Okay, and you mentioned you're a two-time retiree. What did you retire from the first time?
The first time I spent 25 years on active duty.
Okay.
A little bit over that, but 25 years on active duty as a transportation officer, logistician by the end of that time.
Okay, so let's talk about this most recent retirement. What drove you to retirement? What was that one or two things that led you to say, this is it, it's time to go?
I'm real easy. I link my retirement to, well, being Social Security eligible. I link my retirement to age 62. Go ahead. And I had met the criteria for my second career to be eligible to retire. And I actually went over that period as well. And so I linked my time to 62. I only have one child, and he's grown and gone. So it's just the wife and I and my mother-in-law. So there was nothing financially driving me to have to work. So I linked mine to age 62.
Okay, but nothing in particular as far as the job was concerned, that you were fed up with the job or anything like that?
Well, if I got to be honest, of course, of course, being in a stressful job. One of the things I truly missed about being on active duty was the fact that I PCSed on an average every 2 years. So a lot of people don't like moving like that, but we did. And boy, did I miss that after I retired. Because I just don't know how somebody can do the same job year after year after year after year. And so by the time I probably reached the 7th or 8th year point in my second career, I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do now? How am I going to get out of this thing? But I didn't set the conditions to PCS or move again in civilian life. So I just bought my time until I was eligible to retire. And as soon as I was eligible, I left.
Yeah. And now that you're retired, just kind of run the audience through what a typical day looks like for you now that you're retired. From the time you get up in the morning till late evening on an average day.
Woo, life is good. So what I mean by that is I'm not on anybody's time schedule. So I get up and I go walk every morning, primarily Monday through Friday, and sometimes on the weekends, but not every weekend. And then after that is whatever chore that I assign myself to do that day, or whatever medical appointments I may have, or honeydews that I may have to get done. It's spread out. So my scheduled events is just getting out of bed and going for my morning walk. After that is free fall.
So no set schedule.
No set schedule. And I will tell you though, that's probably was the hardest thing for me to get used to forcing myself to do. I was still, when I first retired, was like, okay, I got to do this by 10 o'clock. I need to get this done by 11 o'clock. Wait a minute, why am I on a time schedule? Who am I paying myself?
Right.
Yeah. So it took me a minute to make that adjustment. And doing a little traveling in the middle of honeydews kind of helped me tone that down as far as staying on the schedule.
So tell me, what do you enjoy most about retirement?
Not reporting to anybody, not having to be anywhere. So even in my volunteer, I do a lot of volunteer work that's linked to primarily South Carolina State. But I'm not on a schedule. I'm not on a timeline. There's tasks that I have to do, which I eventually get them done, but I'm not set to, I got to have this done by 9 o'clock every day, 10 o'clock every day. So it's free fall.
Okay. Let's shift gears for a minute. Going back to when you were working, as you were approaching retirement, let's say in the last 3 to 5 years, what was your approach to savings and what was your strategy to make sure that you were postured to be financially set when that retirement day came?
I did some investments that I just let ride through the good and bad times that ended up paying off. And I live within my budget. So I think primarily for me, accepting and living within the budget for the lifestyle that you've earned is the key. All of us would want more, you know. Clearly I could have done better when I look at some other folks as to investing in their bottom line, but for us, it worked out.
Okay.
So I'm in a position where, as far as I'm concerned, till the day I die, as long as I live within my budget, I'll never want for anything.
Right.
Would I like to have additional stuff? Obviously.
Yeah.
You know, all of us would like to have a Bentley sitting out here. I mean, who wouldn't want a Bentley? But I didn't earn a Bentley, so I stay within my budget.
Right. So it's all about managing expenses and not letting expenses outpace the income.
Absolutely, because your income is set.
Right.
So as long as you stay within your budget, then life is good.
Now you mentioned investments. What were your primary investments? I heard you said the federal government, so I'm assuming that was the TSP.
Between TSP and the mutuals funds and funds I had through USAA is primarily what got us over.
Okay. Now that you're in retirement, what are your primary income sources? To sustain yourself from month to month or year to year.
Once again, God is good. So I'm blessed because I have a military retirement. I have a civilian retirement. You look at Social Security, and you look at disability.
Okay.
And when you put all that together, life is good.
So it sounds like multiple streams of income.
Life is good.
Let me ask you this. A lot of people have trouble, those people who have been lifelong savers. A lot of people have trouble transitioning from a savings mentality to a spending mentality. They've saved for so long, now they're in retirement, they have trouble starting to spend that money down. Fear of maybe running out or whatever. Has that been a problem for you?
No, it hasn't, but I've been in multiple conversations with people that have had that concern. I personally don't, but I think the ones that have that concern the most is the ones that their primary focus was developing wealth that they could pass on to their
Generational wealth.
generation of their children. And then when they found out is that the ones that has issues is that next generation don't view life the way they did.
Right.
So now you have to make a decision. Do you continue to plan on leaving it to them, knowing that it's a possibility all they're going to do is blow it,
Right.
or do you enjoy some of the things in life that you like to do
And that you've earned.
and that you've earned? And my argument is there's a way to do both.
Right. Okay. Balance. You mentioned Social Security. So, at what age did you take Social Security, and why did you choose to take it at that particular age as opposed to waiting?
I retired when I was Social Security eligible at age 62, and I elected to start drawing it at 62 because, unfortunately, in my line of work, I see people passing. That's my age, and life is not guaranteed.
Right.
So. Even though I'm not the healthiest guy out there in the world, but I'm not the sickest guy either. So what I decided to do, and what me and my family decided to do, is enjoy life today.
Right.
So for those that want to wait till 65 or 67 or I believe 70, yeah, they that's a choice that you make.
And it could be a gamble.
And it could be a gamble, but the biggest gamble is, will you be living at that time?
Right.
We chose to enjoy what we've already earned at this point.
Yeah.
And that additional money based on those years wasn't worth it. Now, I'm not trying to die tomorrow. That's not what the intent is. But what I am doing is enjoying what I've already earned.
Right. As much of it as you can.
As I can, yes. Mm-hmm.
Now, what has been your biggest challenge or your biggest surprise, if you have any?
That my standard of living didn't drop.
So that was a surprise?
That was a surprise. I was actually preparing for my standard of living to drop. I was preparing to have to figure out. I'm a traveler. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is I love college football, and I love my alma mater, South Carolina State. So when I was working, I would go to one or two games. Homecoming, maybe a local game if one was local, but just a couple. Mm-hmm. Now I go to every game. So come this weekend, as a matter of fact, this is August 26th. College football starts this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm on the road every weekend until December.
Man.
And so the answer to your question was, I didn't anticipate that in retirement I would be able to do that.
Right.
And I can do that, and there's no impact on my household.
Okay.
And that part caught me by surprise. I thought I was going to have to figure out how to steal from, how's that phrase go?
Rob Peter to pay Paul.
Rob Peter to pay Paul. I thought that's what I was going to have to do because I do enjoy going to college football, and particularly following South Carolina State. So when that's travel, that's hotels, that's gas, that's, I'm not earning a dime when I pull out of this parking lot, but I'm spending.
Yeah.
So the first year of retirement, I said, whoa, no impact. Everybody's still happy. Mm-hmm. So that caught me by surprise, is that my standard of living didn't drop.
Any challenges?
Mm-mm.
No challenge?
No.
Okay.
Not in this household.
Yeah. Now, have you found that you spend more or less in retirement?
I think the family is about the same, and I may have increased because of the traveling.
Okay.
So I probably spend more, but I still stay within my budget.
Right.
So, and my motorcycle life is a good example. I would love to deck that out. Just go overboard. But I can piecemeal that.
Yeah.
You know, so I found that easy to do. So,
Yeah. Other than what you've mentioned already, has there been any other major lifestyle changes?
not for us.
Okay. Have you picked up any new hobbies, new interests, or new skills since you retired that you weren't already doing before?
The answer to that is zero. But I actually drop versus pick up. So 5 to 10 years prior to retirement, I was coaching.
Okay.
And I actually, at that time, thought that that was going to be my way of giving back to the community. Uh, um, but I ended up dropping that. And I didn't turn out to be a real good coach anyway. So
You have a winning
I was a
season?
good assistant coach, but you know,
Did you have a winning season?
oh yeah, I've been a part of some state championship teams
Okay.
and some very good programs, but that's not where I ended up. And what I realized in retirement is I actually don't want a title. So even with my volunteer work at Psychology State, I refuse any position that's going to say, well, you're the chairman of this or the primary POC for that.
Now you got an obligation.
Right. I will be there and I will be a good worker.
Right. Right.
But I need my freedom to come and go as I please. So
Minimize responsibility. Right? How would you define retirement success? If you had to put it in a few words, what is retirement success?
Happiness. That you never look back on it and regret retiring. You are happy. You're happy with whatever it is you do in life. Whatever your thing is.
Right.
And that's different for everybody, believe it or not.
Yeah.
You know, there's some common things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I mentioned earlier, I got some motorcycle friends, I got some golf friends, I got some bulldog friends. And I'm able to intermingle that and stay pretty busy. Mm-hmm. But my definition of retirement is happiness.
Okay.
Is that you have no regrets, no desire to go back. And I don't dwell on what I don't have. Mm-hmm. So I mentioned earlier, that all of us wish we had a Bentley. Of course we do. But I don't dwell on the fact that I don't have a Bentley sitting out here.
Right.
I enjoy what I do have.
Now, looking back, if there was anything that you could do differently to better prepare for retirement, what would that be?
Investing. I invested, but I wasn't very good at it. I invested enough to make us comfortable today.
But you could have done more.
I could have done way more. My high school basketball coach, when I told him that I was in ROTC, he told me, George, going in the Army, being an Army officer, you're going to live a comfortable life. You just can't get rich. That was his opinion. You can't get rich. But I actually took that to heart. I said, well, comfortable is okay with me. I don't mind being comfortable.
Right.
But in reality, that statement is not true.
Right.
And if I had pursued it, if I could go back, the only thing I would change is I would have invested more and better, for lack of a better way of putting it.
Okay.
I took the easy road. I took the safe road, not necessarily easy, but I always took safe,
Low
risk choices. Yeah.
Okay. What's one thing, or maybe two things, that you're glad that you don't have to deal with anymore? Some people say alarm clocks, some people say traffic, some people say bad bosses, but from you, what's one or two things you're glad you don't have to deal with anymore?
Actually, not punching the clock. in stress. Um, I live a stress-free life. So my stress is, oh Lord, I got to get up and go walk. Life is good. Not punching the clock, not having to get up at 7 o'clock, not, I'm gonna steal from a saying I heard earlier, is not having to worry about if I'm away, I got to get back.
Right.
You know. So now I'm cutting my fun time short because I'm worrying about getting back. Got to get back. Got to
get back to the job.
Yeah, got to get back. You know. So those kind of things is what I am glad I don't have to deal with anymore. But you know, we still have to live a structured life. Mm-hmm. So you know, when I go on these trips, I got to come back home. Right. You know. So, but the good news is my schedule. I get to set my schedule, and I enjoy that.
Yeah. Now, if there is some advice that you could give to somebody that's maybe 1 to 5 years out from retirement, what would that advice be? Maybe something that we haven't already covered.
Maximize your investments. Maximize your investments. Our parents and uncles and aunts, they used to say you got to pay yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, you pay yourself first. You know, pay yourself, and that is so true. You know, because in order to enjoy retirement, unfortunately, it is linked to income. So if you have a desire to travel the world, well, then you obviously got to have funds to pay to travel the world. Right. When I retired, I opted, not because I didn't have an opportunity to, not to go back to work. Right. I didn't want to retire and then 2-3 years later, now I'm looking for a job. Mm-hmm. Some people say boredom sends them back to work. I tend to believe it's money. Yeah. They probably overdid their free time and now they got to pay for what the little bit they still have.
Or they're afraid of running out of money.
Or they're afraid of running out of money. And my answer is, if you live within your budget, that's a worry you shouldn't have. Okay. If you stay within your budget, you know. So for those people that are looking at retiring 5 to 10 years out, or even 3 to 5 years out, maximize your investments to prepare for the unknown. And find something to do with yourself. Yeah. So I made it humorous, but really, it actually keeps me going because I like to say that if I'm at my house, I'm only here to prepare for the next trip. Now that includes taking care of the house. That includes making sure the family is straight and all of that kind of good stuff. Mm-hmm. But really, I'm planning for my next trip.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And final question, totally unrelated. What the Bulldogs going to do this weekend?
Oh, we're going to win.
Okay.
We're going to win.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Well, I thank you very much for all your time and great advice. Please like, share, and subscribe.